that we presented last month when we were in Salem. The Laserfiche connector has been updated. 9.1 has been released. So if you are a Laserfiche connector user, consider installing the updates for that. The connector has new functionality that allow you to OCR sections of a window, apply regular expressions, change the location and size of the connector, embedded button, and new profile types. There's also been a couple of bug fixes that have been applied to the hotfix. So if you're a connector user, consider having that update installed. And again, for those of you that have current Laserfiche maintenance, you can just contact support and say, I'd like to have the update. Either do it for me or send me a link to download it. And it's a reminder, just email support@citiesdigital.com or call in or connect. A lot of you are really good at connecting on our remote connect on the website, and just tell us what you need. The Laserfiche mobile and Windows Phone, so that is exciting because in the Windows Store, you'll soon be able to download the mobile app. So if you're not an Android user and you're not an iPhone user, iPad user, you can actually get the Windows mobile edition soon. If you're, well, you can use it with Android and or the iOS Apple platform, but if you happen to have a Surface or Windows Phone, does anybody have a Windows Phone? I'd be really, oh, Kyle does. Anybody else? Kyle will test it out and tell everybody how it works. So yeah, the Windows Mobile will be available, and that's going to be for Surface and all of those as well. All right, so more about the roadmap. Now, I have a sneak preview today of Web Access 10. Is anybody a Web Access user in here? One person? Okay, excellent. Two? Okay, excellent. Three? So the Web Access module is, just for everybody who's maybe not a big power user, is that it is the browser edition of Laserfiche. So it's for full users, it's read-write, it's got scanning built in, all of that. Laserfiche Web Access has been greatly improved and streamlined for internet performance, so fast internet delivery of documents. You can also star items, so kind of like your favorites, recent documents, and then unified metadata. It'll also include media streaming. So if you've got video or audio, it'll include the streaming functionality in Web Access 10. And the interface looks a lot different. So Laserfiche recently released a movie, a video online, an advertisement, but in there they released a lot of sneak peeks of Web Access 10. The only other place we've seen that is at the conference last year. They gave a couple of seconds where you could get one or two really quick screenshots of what Web Access 10 is going to look like. And they have it available now in the video, which I'm going to try to show and see if it actually works all right through the browser here, and you'll get a chance to take a look at it. Laserfiche Forms 10 is scheduled for release this year, and I think they're going to time that with the Empower Conference, which is here, or not here, but Long Beach, Southern California. So put that on your calendars and remember to attend that Empower Conference. If you are a Laserfiche user with current maintenance, you get at least one guaranteed free conference registration, and if you need more users than that, we do have a wait list option for you, so we'll try to accommodate everybody's requests for that. And that is in the second week of January. Third week, second week, something like that. January 11th
to the 14th.
January 11th to the 14th, 2016. But anyway, Forms will be timed with that, and Forms will have a new team feature, so you can assign tasks to teams, and you'll also have better metrics and heat maps, so you'll be able to do much better reporting on the tasks and approvals that have been conducted through Laserfiche Forms. You'll be able to distribute the workload and be able to tell, essentially, as they say here, pinpoint bottlenecks. And it'll also integrate more closely with workflow and the process modeler. QuickFields 10 is also scheduled for release, so they'll have new QuickFields server and hosting through the QuickFields Web Administration Console. So that'll be something to take a look at. So specifically the new product releases, and this is just since June, so since our last user group. As I mentioned, Connector 9.1 is available, and there aren't a ton of users on Connector yet. It's still a fairly brand new product from Laserfiche, only 6 months or so into the release. So these are the improved functionalities in 9.1. And we also have a hotfix support update. So 9.2.1 server and client hotfix was released, and this is going to be the roll-up. So it includes server, search engine, audit trail, web admin, migration wizard, the client, the Office plugin, administration console, scanning, photo docs, et cetera, et cetera. So this was released on June 11th, and Workflow 9.2.1 update was also released. And this specifically addresses workflow not skipping over for each value activities. So if that was on your list of issues, so you can cross that off. And you also no need to republish existing workflows that include find entry activities. So these are some pretty specific things, but for some people this was a really big issue. So if you download Workflow 9.2.1 prior to June 12th, you will want to re-download the install package, and we're encouraging, or they're still encountering issues. If you're still encountering issues listed above, uninstall and reinstall the entire package. Mike Richardson, our support director, wanted me to also mention that he's done a couple of webinars in the past that have been really helpful, and they include the common fix issues. So if you're interested, we have recorded support webinars. We don't put those on our YouTube, but if you would like to watch a few of these that he's run, you can download those off our FTP site. You can just browse to ftp.citiesdigital.com/dl/lf/webinar docs, and we'll also send this out to everybody, so this PowerPoint deck.
And we'll also send out a link to the recorded webinar as well if you want to come back to that at some point.
So continuing with the hotfix support update, one of the recommendations we also had from our support folks is that we had wanting to be able to help you know really how we can help you be supported faster. And a couple of those suggestions are, when you do need help, if you're not connecting remotely immediately through our remote connect on our support site, having a screenshot really helps our technicians. So if you do have an issue you encounter, grab a screenshot of the error. Just email that right in. That's always the most helpful for us to be able to get started right away. And describe the problem and let us know really what happened and what you expect to happen. That's the other thing too, because a lot of times we'll be working with a client and they'll say, well, you know, the snapshot isn't working, and that's a pretty vague thing to start with. So if you can send it to us and say what I expected to happen was it would print in color and it's supposed to look like this, but instead it didn't. So if you can describe that, that's always the best.
Everybody know how to do that? Take a screenshot real quick. Yeah, just print screen and just Control V and do an email, send us the whole screenshot. But there's also the snag tool if you like. But that is an extra step. We love that if you send that to us, but you can take the whole screenshot. And a lot of that, put that on your clipboard, paste it into an Outlook email, support@citiesdigital.com. We'll probably figure it out from that screenshot.
One of the things Morgan was just mentioning, again, for those of you at home, just good ways to be able to take screenshots. Of course, just use the print screen or the snipping device, and send those into us if you can. Oh, geez. You guys have been able to watch my my face up there now. Close that off this whole time. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. And then also be as specific as possible. Let us know when you're encountering those errors. Who is it happening on this machine, multiple machines, etc. So let's take a quick look. Let's see if this WebAccess 10 will let me show this to you here. This is something that was published by Laserfiche in their recent update.
Everybody should have their own their support site account. If you don't, I can get that information to you very quickly. All it takes is your product serial number, which you may have, but I can get it to you very easily.
Oh gosh, there's too many microphones on. All right, well, we'll just mute the audio. Now, you can go and visit this if you would like at any time. If you'd like to go ahead and visit, you can see the update. I wish I had a much better zoomed in screen for you to show all of the details here, but I am just showing you the sneak peeks, the best that I have available to me. So you can see all the updates here to WebAccess 10. Kind of exciting. New look, much more clean than what we've seen before. And you're welcome to go and visit this anytime you want to see what the very latest, greatest options are that Laserfiche is presenting. So I'll just stop here for a second. So you can get a view on that. Kind of exciting. It really looks easy to use. That's one thing that popped out for me when I looked at it was, wow, this looks really streamlined. They took a lot of buttons, a lot of clicks possibly, and really eliminated a lot of it by trying to make it look really, really simple. So you'll notice the starred options down here in the lower left-hand corner. So those will be your favorites. Access to the recycle bin is completely separate tab down here. And then recently open documents. So a couple of new features there, and hopefully it'll still be as user-friendly as always, just a little bit easier. So you'll be able to visit that, again, if you would like to just go check out that whole video. This is the link, and again, it's in the PowerPoint. I wish it was, I should have probably done a bit.ly on this, but I'll go ahead and send you a link to this later. Okay, before we move on to GIS mapping, I just wanted to go around the room really quick and introduce everybody. So for those of you at home, just hang tight and we'll take a look at the ArcGIS mapping in just a moment. But if we could just go ahead and introduce everyone here, and if we could maybe just start with the front row right here, and let us know.
Hi, I'm Sarita Ross. I'm from GE Healthcare. Hi, I'm Terry. I'm also from GE.
I'm Devinder Singh from GE Healthcare.
I'm Kevin from Opus.
I'm Chris with Accredited Tax. Marie, Accredited Tax.
I'm Ashad. I'm from First Foundation Bank.
Welcome.
Max Summit Financial Consultants.
Gordon Wilson, Pacific Southwest Financial.
Kathy from Pacific Southwest Financial.
Excellent.
And Stephanie from Santa Clarita.
Denise, City of Santa Clarita.
Excellent. Right back there.
Mark Schultz, City of Walmart.
David, City of Baldwin Park.
Excellent.
Juan Rios, Oakland Corporation.
Sonia Bizel from Corporation.
Kelly, City of Norfolk. Denise, Science Group for Financial Services.
Excellent. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming again. It's our user base here, and I think, as I've always seen in Los Angeles, whenever we do these user groups, they kind of trickle in later in the day, and I think people gauge the traffic a little bit, so we might see a few more users yet, and we'll try to get them connected.
We flew Joe Biden in today specifically for a user group as well. So.
Oh, and for those of you at home, Morgan was just mentioning Joe Biden is here in town, so adding to the traffic mess today to Carmageddon, right? Isn't that what we had out here a few years
All
ago?
that, it was not Carmageddon.
No?
No,
Okay.
They made a big what-to-do about it.
The streets are all blocked off from that, so I don't think you get it.
Makes for a good freeway if there's no entrances.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, moving on to ArcGIS. So we've got a wide variety of users in the Laserfiche community, and ArcGIS is a product that not everybody would be familiar with, but certainly anyone working at a city, a county, any type of government agency has had to encounter mapping and GIS these days. So this is all new to some of our clients from the financial services industry or healthcare may not use it as much, but mapping is definitely impacting us all with data analysis via what we call geospatial or mapping technology. And what I want to do today is just show you a couple of things. I hope you find it interesting, even if you are not with a city or county and you don't have mapping in your office, but you find how we can actually integrate with Laserfiche, and you'll see how we can pull the hooks into the system to use it through WebLink or Web Access. So first of all, the ArcGIS basics, or even just GIS basics. So Geographic Information System is really what GIS stands for those of you that aren't doing a lot of work with mapping. And what that means is it's a geospatial system for visualizing information that might be in a database. And what you'll see today is we have just the demonstration data set from the mapping application that gives us counties, cities, election areas, and this could easily be used for quite a few different things, like mapping traffic patterns or locations of municipal assets, census data. All of that kind of information is really valuable. And what we've seen lately is a big request, a lot of users saying, hey, how can I tie my documents to that? I'd like to click on a specific location and then find what documents in our Laserfiche system are tied to that. So that's really where this application came from. And we chose to integrate with Esri's product, ArcGIS. So Esri is the dominant player in the mapping industry, and it is a very large partner, and they have a very good API or integration tool set. So there are a lot of different kinds of licenses that Esri offers, and this does require the server edition of ArcGIS. And that's typically something that delivers public mapping information. So if you're online and you're wanting to go view your home parcel and view your tax data, a lot of times it'll allow you to see the actual, at least in my county and a lot of counties out there, you're able to see that property and you're able to see specifically what does the parcel look like right next door and what does the down the street and all of those different parcels, and you click on it, you get all that tax data. So that's an example of how the geospatial data works. Now, let's say you wanted to see a document, like any permits that have been filed on that particular property, or let me see the specific one of the uses, a water tie, like all that stuff that we don't, at least I don't think about on a day-to-day basis, like where my sewage goes and how my water gets to my house. There are maps and drawings everywhere and at the city and county level, and we want to be able to tie that to the specific geographic location, because you might have an employee out on site that's working in the street and they say, gosh, I wish I had a copy of that drawing. And a lot of times, I don't know if any of you have seen these drawings, but going back 100 years sometimes or more, where it's actually a sketch of how the joints are done or how the plumbing or sewage or other utilities look. So they can just click on your parcel and say, okay, I want to see the actual water tie right here, and then pull that up on the screen. And that's really what this integration is supposed to do. So it's ideal this integration is ideal for users that would like to share public documents through a map interface. So if we've got again, those parcels, we want to be able to share documents. Typically, it's going to be public data. Now, you could certainly do private data. Could be information to a limited amount of users that requires a username and password to log in, or it could be just for users inside the county, the city, the organization. But most often the requests are that these are public. So we would be using one of two methods to integrate, and that's web link or web access. For those of you that know web link as public portal, that's the same thing. It's being able to deliver documents through the web interface. And of course, you also have to have ArcGIS. So what are good use cases? Kind of touched on these already, but researching property data, so to find permits or assessments or any public-related parcel information, and then reports as well. Reports are public filings based upon GPS coordinates. So it doesn't necessarily have to be just an address or a parcel. It could be a GPS coordinate, so not even tied to a lot or block like you're going to see right here on the screen. Now you can also use a radius search or select multiple, so you might want to see what documents exist in our system for anyone within this radius area, and that'll give you all documents in the Laserfiche system. So how that's done is, you'll see here we pull up a document. We're going to take a look at the live system here in just a second, but you'll see here in the Laserfiche client, I have some information in my metadata, and this is what ties this information to the lot and block or the parcel or the GPS coordinates. It's the Laserfiche template. And I suppose none of you are surprised by that, because that's how Laserfiche really stores all that information about your documents. It's all through the metadata or template information. So in this case, we have Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, the PCR number, which could be the parcel number, which would normally be a lot longer than that, but your tax identification number, could be your lot and block, your address, and then another index code, which is we have under the source field. So not too descriptive, but that's essentially the metadata that's taking us to that information. So now we'll switch up and we'll take a look at the live demonstration. I'll take a look at our demo map here. So again, those of you in Wisconsin, this is a little bit of love here. We're going to click on Fond du Lac County, and what we want to do is take a look at information in Fond du Lac, or we could select multiple. So we're just going to click on the widget over here, and we're going to ask it to just search for documents in that county that are related. And hopefully my system isn't asleep from sitting here for so long. There we go. Okay, so there's my results. So what Esri did, what ArcGIS did, is it went out. This is my local Esri, so I'm running a demonstration edition. Through the internet, it went to my Laserfiche repository and conducted a search saying, find me all documents that are related to that particular parcel or that area on my map, and I've got a nice results list right here. I can display any of the metadata naming information or the metadata behind it, the index information. So if I want to, I'll say, well, show me that site plan for Carl's Jr. right there. And that's going to call web link. Again, you could have it call web access if you wanted to. So it loads in the WebLink browser. Again, if you're not a big WebLink user or you're not familiar with this, WebLink is the option for read-only user access. So the public couldn't actually log into this and change anything or update these files or see anything that you don't want them to see. This is just an image only. And here's that metadata we looked at in the screenshot just a minute ago. So that's what's all linking back. It's all this information right here. So of course the end users that are citizens, they receive this link. And of course you could customize WebLink with your company, organization, city, county logo up here, make that all nice and customized. We can see thumbnails through here. So the mapping thumbnails, the metadata. And if there's any annotations that you want to make public, we can do that too, so that they can be visible to end users. And you can see the path where I had this file. Now, for the demonstration, I have the map filing to my incoming folder under GIS and then the name of the file. So this was actually uploaded. One of the nice features of the ArcGIS integration is if you're a web access user, so you're a read-write user and you have a read-write license through web access, you can upload as well, right from ArcGIS. So we could, right here, navigate down and choose to upload a document for, in this case, Fond du Lac County, which we have selected right here. So I could just choose to upload, and I can change my, there's my feature name, and then I can choose my name of my document. And I'll choose a file to upload and attach.
And Patrick, you're using web link to upload?
Web access.
Web access.
Yep, so it's going to log in with a username and password. Because, of course, we're uploading, we're changing to the database, we're adding, so it requires read-write. We did use web link for viewing. So our users, our general public users that are looking at this, they would have, again, if you're a web link user, you have a bunch of different configurations, but typically a pool of concurrent licenses, or you might be one of the users that's lucky enough to have the unlimited web link license. So then it's just, wide open for as many people as possible. So that's been uploaded. Now, if we want to take a look at where did that actually end up in our Laserfiche system, this is kind of interesting. This is our first release of this application. So it is going to be continually updated and refined. But you'll see there's my Word document I just uploaded. And where that ended up in our system is, again, right here in my incoming GIS. And why we're doing that is that we want to make sure that our users can leverage workflow to file these wherever they want. So incoming maps, incoming content that's being uploaded by ArcGIS could file by property address or PIN number, or any of the data that's on your map layer can be mapped to the integration. So let's take a look, for example, at the metadata on that document that was just uploaded. So there's all the pre-populated information that came in from the map. So again, any of that can be filled in through the templates, which means that file can be put anywhere you want, but you just have workflow file it. So this would be the first stopping ground, and then from there it gets filed. So that's the upload for ArcGIS. And as far as the configuration goes, we just set up a widget. That's essentially what we have right here is a widget in ArcGIS. And you're going to be able to extract any metadata from any one of the map layers that you have and be able to pull that down into Laserfiche. So it'll go back and forth between Laserfiche and ArcGIS. Questions about that? It's a pretty quick demo, and I'm far ahead of schedule, so a lot of time here. Yes, sir.
How about the document already scanned to the system? Can they integrate with the ArcGIS?
When they're scanning in? Sure. So Laserfiche, for example, when you're using Laserfiche scanning and you want to scan in, can you access the ArcGIS data?
How about the document already scanned into the system, already in the system? And when we install it ArcGIS, can those old data be integrated with the new GIS system?
Sure. So the question is, what about documents that you've already scanned into the system? Can we integrate that with the ArcGIS data so that you could essentially repopulate the document data? Certainly. Any data that you have in a GIS database, and this goes for other uses too, so customers that might be not government related, but you've got documents in the system and you want to be able to pull from, in this case, ArcGIS or anything else, absolutely. We can get to that, and workflow is the key. Quick fields also helps, but workflow is usually the key. So we can pull data from any SQL Server database or Access or wherever that is, and pull that data in and relabel documents that have already been scanned in the system. Absolutely. So ideally what we'd want to do is be able to tie those scanned documents, I'm assuming, to parcel data or property identification numbers. So yes, we could do that. Okay, question from the internet.
Okay, so Brendan has a question. Does this need full ArcGIS server, or will this work with just ArcMap?
This does require ArcGIS server right now. So right now, at least, we can certainly update this in the future. We've had a lot of requests already. But for right now, it's ArcGIS server. Any other questions from the internet or others? Yes, ma'am.
From a healthcare perspective, would there be any value for us to use anything like this?
Well, the question
we
is...
scan documents into a database.
Yeah.
And then we retrieve them using QuickField for other needs. So would this be beneficial for us in any way?
Well, the question is, just to repeat for the folks at home, so in healthcare, would there be any use for this? Would there be a way that we could leverage mapping in healthcare? And I think that the answer is yes, but it would definitely start with a need for mapping at the healthcare level, so at the organization where you might have that information already. You might have a map. So you might say, for example, all the documents, I can think off the top of my head, there's a lot of home healthcare workers that travel a lot, and they might actually be mapping out, so we've seen this instance, they might be mapping out an on-site visit to a patient's home, and they want to be able to just say, okay, here's my route for today. I have 4 stops I need to make, and I want the documents available at each one of these sites on my map, Google Maps almost. Click on it, and your documents that are most recent are right there. And that would be an example.
Yeah, ours is more tied to the business level, on-site, where we're scanning the documents for patient records as we're using them, and then they become available for the entire corporation. So I'm just trying to see how we can.
Yeah,
If it
yeah.
makes any sense for us.
So more from the business side.
Huge.
Okay, gotcha. Well, definitely let us know if you want to talk more about that.
I do.
Okay, excellent. All right, other questions? ArcGIS, mapping, or general integration questions? Okay, all right, so we are plenty ahead of schedule. We're not going to take a break yet because y'all just, oh yes, one more
I do
question.
have a question. We are implementing a new permitting system. Would this somehow integrate with, could Laserfiche integrate with our new permitting system?
Excellent question. Can Laserfiche integrate with a new permitting system? What type of permitting?
Acela automation?
Okay, Acela automation. So yes, absolutely we can integrate, and there are a number of users, possibly some online today, that already have Acela integrated. So you'd be able to push and pull directly from Acela, and Cities Digital has been working to get an integration built with Acela as well. So definitely something we can integrate. And Acela is also partnered on the municipal side with their new minutes package. I don't know much about it yet, but I know it's a minutes and agenda package.
The IQM2.
That is it, IQM2, thank you, yes. That is integrated, and that's available in the marketplace, I think. Then there's other exciting news too. Our partner, Springbrook. Is anybody a Springbrook user in here? No? Okay, so Springbrook also merged with Acela or was acquired by Acela, and so they're part of the Acela family too, and they're integrated. Yeah, definitely, let's talk about that for sure. Okay. Other questions? Anybody have any other questions about mapping or permit data or anything?